Hello everyone, my name is Gorazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. We are back in our 1.18 world for the very last time. No, don't worry, we're not leaving this world. We just won't be here in 1.18 anymore, at least not for very long. That's right folks, today we are going to prepare for and then upgrade to version 1.19.1. Because as of this recording, 1.19.1 has dropped, so we are skipping 1.19.0 and all of its, well, strange bugs, and we're going straight to 1.19.1. Rabbit, get away from my door. Get. But you heard me right, we are going to prepare, because if you're upgrading a world from 1.18, there are a couple things that I recommend you do. First of all, if you are using the Prospector Info mod, well, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to that mod. Because the mod author is no longer working on the mod, and instead, the mod has been integrated into the in-game map in 1.19. We're going to have some tabs over here, and we'll be able to filter based on our pro pick searches, but we will no longer have these squares. Instead, we will have a filter where we will be able to set and view the different amounts of ore that we've prospected in different areas. And rather than on a per chunk basis, they will be on a per prospecting basis. So the exact point that you prospect will show up on the map. And it'll show up in different colors based on how prevalent that specific ore is. Now that does mean that if you have any areas that you haven't mined yet, or you haven't at least marked it for mining with a waypoint, you should do that right now. Go and do that. Don't upgrade. Of course you probably already have, because this is coming out probably a couple of weeks after 1.19 drops. But yes, you'll definitely want to make sure that you mark any places you want to mine or have been mining if you don't already have a waypoint. The next, and I think as far as I can tell, only other real big thing that we need to do before we address this elephant in the room is that you need to take into consideration a change to sheep. And that is that sheep will have a step height of 2. Meaning that these sheep right here would be able to walk right up onto this block and walk around here. And in fact, I believe they may have even gotten the ability to pathfind over fences because they can just walk so high. So we're going to chisel a little ledge around here, and actually around everywhere, because apparently someone warned me that piglets can occasionally gather in corners and popcorn out just like chickens can. So we're going to do a little ledge around here and around here. And that should pretty much be all the prep we need to do, barring the sort of administrative stuff, making backups and so on. With that being said, let's get to it. And like that, there we have it. We now have the sheep penned in fully. They cannot step up onto these blocks because of these chisel blocks in the way. And same for the piglets, which can no longer popcorn out of their pen. Now, if you have only been breeding pigs for a little while, there is one further consideration you might need to make, which is that if you have any Gen 2 or earlier pigs, or hogs, I guess these are, boar, then you need to make sure that whatever you do to feed them isn't going to bring you into close contact with them, because they're going to get very aggressive if there are piglets around. However, that behavior will end starting with Generation 3. So once you get that far, no need to fear. Okay, I'm going to put things away, and we are going to move on to the next step in upgrading your world. After which, we will take a look and check out what 1.19 brings to the table. Oh, but first, I did want to drop this down, say, here, because I went down to our luxury goods trader and bought one of these guys. He still didn't have any yellow glass, but he had purple glass. So we now have everything but yellow, which is the one color I want for our drifter pit. Sigh. Okay, so I think we are pretty ready. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a backup. So we're going to hit enter. We're going to type in /, and we'll type in auto save now. It'll tell you auto save completed once it's done. Then we'll do it again. We're going to do gen backup. Hit enter, and then we'll wait, Depending on how large your world is, this could take as few as a couple seconds, or if you have a large world and it is a very slow hard drive, it could take upwards of a few minutes. But our backup is complete. We can now exit the game. So here we are on the title screen. Now normally if you just started the game up, you would see a little flag up here, or a banner that says, hey, 1.19 point whatever is out. Go ahead and click it. We're going to quit and restart the game so that we can get that banner to show up. Alright everyone, I have restarted my game client, and now we have this banner here. We can just go ahead and click this, and it will say, hey, do you want to update right now? Why, yes we do. Go ahead and confirm, and it will do a download for you. Once it is done, it will automatically run the installer for you, and once that is done, it should restart the game client. Alright folks, and here we are in Vintage Story 1.19.1. You can tell because of the brand new screenshot with a sleeping deer. We have a mama deer and 3 fawns, looks like. So here we can go ahead and start up our world. We're going to go into Guide Season 2 once again, and we're going to crash. So it was my understanding that this version was supposed to automatically disable your mods if they were incompatible. Apparently it does not. You have to actually go to the mods list to do that. So we're going to take a pause here, and the next step we're going to take is we are going to update our mods. Because if we come in here, it should darken out all the ones that are not compatible, but I'm not really seeing that. Let's reload mods. There we go. Okay. So we now have a yellow triangle. We need to update these mods. So we're going to go to the mod site. We're going to find all of our mods here that we're using, and we're going to update as many of them as possible. However, do note that some of them, such as the aforementioned prospector info, will no longer be supported because it is no longer maintained due to it being added to the game. So we're going to go to the mods.vintagestory.at site, and we're going to search for all of our mods and download the updates for them. If the mods do not have a 1.19 compatible version listed, you can try it, but it may crash your game. So you may have to delete mods until you find the one that crashes the game, and then remove it and put your other ones back in. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see all of you back in the game. Alright everyone, welcome back in game. I had a bit of an issue with a recording, but if you take a look here, once you get back into the game, you will see this dialogue. And since we've already made it backup, you don't need to check the button for a backup. You can go ahead and hit OK, apply now, and then restart your game client. And then once you do, you should be in here. Oh my goodness. In 1.19. That looks fine. We have arms. Look at that. They swing and they do stuff. I guess I can sort of eat. Look at that. The arm actually comes up. Wow. Oh man. How about this? What happens if I do this? Apparently I draw the bow with a lantern in my hand. That's it's gotta be easy. Sure. Why not? Anyway, folks, I think before we get into some of the more interesting bits of the actual game, we should take a look at the menu here. So in the settings, which apparently has a very small option for these two, I don't know why. In the settings though, you will find some new options. First of all, we have a new window mode option, which is maximized borderless. So if you're having any weirdness with full screen or windowed, you can always try a maximized borderless and see if that helps. If you go to the accessibility tab, you will find a couple new options. We have glitch strength waviness, we have wireframe thickness, and we have camera shake strength. And this one is for the strength of when you are freezing or getting hurt, teleporting. This can turn that up or down. The wireframe thickness is set to 1. This is for when you are doing things like napping, clay forming, smithing, and chiseling, the voxel appearance. And then the glitch strength waviness, that is when you are low on stability or in temporal storms. That is how crazy the graphics get. Over in the sound menu, we now have 4 sound options rather than just 3. We have effects, which is, I'm assuming, like regular doors and footsteps and so on. We have entity sound level, which is monsters and animals and so on. We have ambient sound level, so things like rain and, well, I guess weather would be rain. But ambient might be things like, I suppose, water splashing and trees and other odds and ends. Weather is, well, weather. And of course we have the music, which is of course off for recordings. And then we have this new directional audio. It enables HRTF audio, which can place sounds in 360 around the player. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep this off for recording. It's probably going to cause problems for that. So we will see and just leave it off. Then over in interface, we have a new option. We have first-person hand mode position, which will adjust the position of your hands up to 10, which isn't much higher than it is by default, and all the way down to way out of sight. So I'm going to leave it at 0 for now. And yeah, let's go take a look at some of the odds and ends we can do in the game now. First of all, a few new models. I've heard tell of some of these, which is pretty darn cool. And the hands are pretty awesome. I was really worried the first few times I saw the hands. They were very intrusive. Like they were way up on the screen. And I did not like them. But Tyrant has adjusted them to a point where I think they're not too intrusive. They're a little, like, I don't mind that too much, I guess. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I like that animation. Look at that. It's very weighty. I wish it didn't just disappear. Boop, gone. But moving on to, oh my goodness, buckets. I forgot buckets. Oh, I was going to say like, hey, look, these are 1/2 of a voxel shorter. But no, buckets. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. It's like, I mean, it's not round. It's like an octagon, but that is an improvement. I mean, I liked the old bucket. It was very charming in a block gamey way. But this just looks good. That does look good. Ooh, barrels. Don't barrels have a new model too? Nope, I guess not. Fooled myself. Oh dear. Okay, so it looks like the slanted display cases mod needs a bit of an update. But our hacked Locust is still here. That's good. Still got green eyes. So that's unfortunate. I'll have to get in touch with the mod author and see if they can update the mod for 1.19. Now I do know that the crop seeds have new appearance. Check it out. Wow. I think if I had one criticism, I can already see a problem, and that is that the count here pretty much obscures the entire icon on the bag, so you have to mouse over them to see what they are. I think that should be changed a little bit. I don't know how, but maybe the bag could be shrunk a little bit and moved up a little bit, or something. I don't know. This just needs a bit of a touch-up to be usable. Oh, and by the way, I found out what was causing these weird extra footsteps. It was my armor. That's very unfortunate because I was wearing this armor originally specifically because it didn't have that extra sound effect. Now, so we have our regular footsteps. Now, armor on. And now we are very sloppy and floppy and I cannot stand it. But I guess I will make do. Ugh. Oh my goodness. It's like we're walking with like decks of cards strapped to us. Now our sheep, except for the one that's already escaped, who has been hanging out over here, I think he grew up sort of in the door and sort of phased his way out. But our sheep look like they're all still in there. They cannot step up onto the wall. So perfect. Also of note, our hair bun is sticking through our armor. That's kind of cool, although I don't know if that would be how we would wear it. I almost think that our hair should kind of be hidden by the armor for the most part. Apparently the hair over our face is hidden. Put you back on. It does look like, and that's right, Tyron did change necklaces and things to be worn on the outside of the armor, although butterfly pins still a little inside the armor. Our bracelet is just barely visible. That's okay. So yeah, let's go take a look after Make It Daytime, and let's go see if we can play around with some of the new 1.19 features and get a feel for this new version. Aside from those awful footsteps, Tyron, why did you? Why? Good, well, I'd say morning, but good afternoon, everybody. It seems I slept in, but I didn't. I actually was doing some chores, just pushing some steel production along, and also trying to see if I could replace our display cases here with the regular ones, we can, but I lost everything inside this one, so I'm going to have to probably go into creative and bring those things back after I find a screenshot of the things I had in there, but that's okay. I haven't heard back from the mod author. It's actually been a few days since the last cut, so yep, these are going to be question marks for a little while longer, so we'll just see. I'll give them some more time to respond and see if they get a chance to update their mod. You might also hear that sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds kind of like... I thought it was like a train on a track at first, but no, I think it's rain. And it's a new sound effect that has to do with being inside, like near a window when it's raining. But I think it might have to do actually with our greenhouses. I think it's like raining in just a couple squares here and there. Or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the rain sound effect, which is kind of nice. It's pretty pleasant. Now, there are a couple elephants in the room that I want to address. And the first is something that I noticed while I was fiddling with my armor. And that is, if we come over here and let's take all of our armor off. And let's also take off our winter clothes, because we don't need these anymore. It's nice and warm out. Oh, this apparently has no more durability, but also no more warmth. Interesting. Okay, so we have our butterfly pin, we have our belt, our underwear, and we have our necklace on. You'll see that my trademark sort of cyan hair is now this weird sea green color, which is apparently called steel blue. I failed to see how this is a blue color. So yeah, that's our hair color now, I think. However, I'm going to show you all, if you are dissatisfied with the changes in your character's hair color or skin color and whatever, I'm going to show you how to change that now. Now, if you're on a server, you'll have to ask your administrator to grant you a character select usage, where it will bring up the screen you first saw when you started the game and you created your character. However, we're in single player, so we have two options. We can simply just go into creative mode and type in the carousel and hit enter, and it will bring up a character. Or, if we want to stay in survival, we can instead type in /player, your character's name, followed by allow carousel once. And now we can either leave and rejoin the world, or we can just type .carousel and I'll bring this up. And I'm going to take a moment to do something that I completely forgot to do, which is that when I started this world, I picked the wrong skin tone. This is our skin tone from the first season, and I wanted to keep it. This feels a little too bright to me. I kind of liked this more. So I'm going to change my skin tone back to this. And actually our hair, we now have this queen blue, which isn't quite as pale nor as bright as our original sort of cyan hair, but it's the closest we have, and it's about as canon for me as I can get. So we're going to go ahead and confirm that. It will have you pick your class again, and it will give you more clothes for your class, which is kind of silly, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw them out the back door, and we'll never see them again. Interestingly, it seems that a couple of the belts no longer provide any warmth, and the Marketeer belt, which was a 0.3 max warmth, is actually only 0.1, but it looks like the hats now give some degree of warmth protection, so that's pretty cool. We'll have to see if there are any more advanced hats, like there's a black top hat that might give us more, I don't know. However, that light snorting of our pigs reminded me that there is something we missed as far as new models. Actually, two things, and I keep forgetting you were out here. Whatever. Suffer, dude. Let's pop in here. No, you stay in here too. We have new models for the large troughs, the small troughs, and the things we put in them. And would you stop pushing me around, guys? Good grief. But yeah, that is a very snazzy model. Let's check out the other ones for the chickens. Oh, this guy's here. Do you mind, dude? No, you stay. Whatever. Sure. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Those are pretty nice looking too. I like them. Now you, sir, can stay here. Whatever. We'll get you later. But the troughs and the seeds we saw earlier reminded me that we do have a new model for grain, actually. Let's take a look at these. So we have grain that looks suspiciously like the models for things like lime and crushed borax and so on. So sort of recolor of those, but it's nice to have an actual 3D model, so pretty cool. There are a couple other new models that kind of got sneaked in here. One that I saw is that we have a new chicken egg model, which is kind of the same as you pick up off the floor, but now it's in the actual inventory model, as well as the soybeans, which I think is an interesting one. We have 3D soybeans now too. Is that wild or what? As well as the amaranth flower, which has sort of its own model, and the sunflower flower. Like, they're different models than the... Oh, because those are flour and not grain. Interesting. Well, I'm getting the eggs, so I need some food for the morning, and probably for the evening as well. So I'm going to go ahead and light this up with some sticks. And while that cooks, let's talk about the other elephant in the room. That is the map. Up here in the upper right-hand corner. Check it out. This is the new map that was brought over from the Medieval Maps mod. And it's interesting. I don't know if I like it or hate it yet. It does look like it'll take time for our new map to sort of overwrite the old map. And if you do end up not liking it, you do have the option to change it back with a command that I don't have on me at the exact moment, but I'll put it up on screen during editing. So something that I do like about this new map already is that it looks like regardless of whatever else is around, we can always see our own paths. And while it does kind of wash out our builds, like we can't really quite see as well what we've built, I do like that the paths are very bold and brown. I also like that kind of no matter what color you choose for your waypoints, they'll always be visible now, which I kind of appreciate. Because sometimes if you're trying to like mark malachite or olivine, and it's like in a bright green area like a forest, it would get lost quite easily. Now you'll see that over here, we also have some more interactive elements. We have the terrain on or off. We can toggle that, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I would want that off. We also have waypoints. We can turn those on or off. And we have a prospecting layer, which we don't have anything of that right now because previously we were using the prospector info mod, which looks like it was not imported into the game or anything from that mod. I didn't pull data in or anything, but we do have the ability to filter based on what kinds of things we found. So in the morning here, I'm going to go and we're going to go out and do some prospecting just to get a couple tips on that map there. And then we'll also take a look and see if we can find maybe some of the new ruins or some of the new animals. I'll see you all in the morning. All right, good morning, everyone. I've already had some breakfast. Let's grab our lunch, and that should last long enough. We carry it in both hands in front of us, which is weird because I don't have... Oh, I do have a lantern in that hand still. That's interesting. So we're kind of hanging it from a wrist. Okay, I'll take it. So let's just pop out here real quick and see if we can get us some prospecting going on. Oh, did you hear that? There's now a sound when we walk through bushes or leaves. And it looks like it sort of depends on how fast you run through them too. That's pretty cool. But let's pop down one of these holes here. And let's do a bit of prospecting just in this area. One, to start rebuilding our prospecting map, and two, to check out what this looks like. Okay, so we have a new prospecting map, or new prospecting node. Let's take a look at what this has. So now we have a yellow dot on the map. It says high native copper, very poor sphalerite, and minuscule galena, pentlandite, and so on. And now, since we found those, we have a drop-down filter over here, where we can switch between like native copper, and we can look at pentlandite, which will show up as red here, and magnetite, which will show up as nothing. Not sure why it's even on here. Alum, also red. So very interesting. I like that. I do wish it was a little more similar to the original Prospector info mod. I wouldn't mind having like the grid system. I like that a lot, but this is a pretty good compromise, I think. So very neat. I will have to prospect kind of everywhere we go and start rebuilding that map of what kinds of ores and things are in the area. Now, it is early morning. I think we should go out and ignore the fact that we will soon have real trees eventually, because these trees were all grown in 1.18, so they're all kind of stunted, except for the pines. But the tree bug has been fixed. I have seen it with my own eyes in other people's worlds, and there are screenshots, and I am glad. We're going to head through the translocator here to the new lands that we discovered on the other side, and we're going to actually head outside where we've been, so outside the map here. If we go up here, that's not where we were. Here we go. This is where we came out. We're going to try to get down from the mountain and then leave and go adventuring in a new direction. Or we could go out this one. No, I don't like this area too much. This area was kind of nasty. It was mean to me. Let's go through here, and we're going to go and check out what we can around that mountain. Okay, here we are out on the plain, or close to it. I'm going to make a little marker here. Back to TL. We're going to call this blue, and we'll do like a little ladder symbol. And I didn't mark the TL, which is a rookie move on my part. Let's go ahead and we're going to drop some ladders here and work our way down. And let's see. Cool. So we now have the map here is updated to the new version. Let's go in this direction, and let's see if we can't find some new animals and some of the new ruins after we get off of the map that's already been generated. Now, the new animals we can come across include things like 11, count them, 11 species of deer, 11 species of goat. There's the moose, and I think that's about it. We might even come across some piggies with some babies who will then try to fend us off because we're encroaching on their young, which I don't really want to do, but it would be interesting to experience, at the very least. Something else we should notice is that we should find far fewer brown bears around here. They changed how brown and black bears spawn, and they sort of separated them so that where black bears spawn, brown bears won't, and vice versa. So we should find fewer brown bears in general. I'm just going to grab this, because I can. And will I mark it? Sure, let's mark it. So we should find in general that we are a bit safer from bears, because black bears aren't as threatening as brown bears. Sure, they're still vicious, but we can outrun them a little better, and they don't hit quite as hard, and they don't have as many hit points. Now this looks like it's still an original trader, because as I understand, these leather blocks are no longer going to be generating in these guys' carts. So let's see what you are. You're a furniture trader, and it looks like these are going to be harder to spot nowadays, but we should still be able to do the sort of triangulation, sort of regular spacing measurement to find where traders should spawn. But we'll have to keep our eyes peeled a bit more because we won't be able to see them. The same is true for things like clay and peat and so on, the things that I kind of just showed off in a recent video of how to find them on the map. Well, as of 1.19, that information is pretty well moot. Now I'm also going to poke my head gingerly down most holes we come across, in case we can spot any underground ruins, including new translocators, because all of the ruins have been overhauled, basically every single last one. So we should be able to find some different things there, as well as they should just be different and more interesting now. So I would love to see what that looks like, if I can get down from here. Hello. Danger Cave. Bismuth. Wow. My goodness, this place is crazy. Here we go. Oh my goodness, I found one. Oh, this is neat stuff. Oh, it's like a tomb. Mr. Kirby Bone Joe. Interesting. Oh, this is really cool. With a chandelier. And oh my goodness, this is a treasure. It looks like this is a chiseled block. Oh no! Well, it was a chiseled block until I came along, and you know, you just keep that. You can keep that. So we have this aged granite ashlar, aged polished granite. I might have to dismantle this this place. Ceiling chain. Interesting. Are you actually obtainable? Yes, it is. Okay. Unusable clutter. Well, I have made use of it. I am taking that. You bet. And, ho ho, oh ho ho ho. Oh my goodness, treasure galore. Especially this. Oops. No, I want to keep this thing too. Thank you. My pickaxe, not yours. So, can we pick up this aged stuff? I'll take you guys too, actually. Hold on here. So, oh, it looks like we can. Okay, so there's like a sort of film on them. Has an oxidation layer top. So if I break this, we get it without the oxidation layer. I'm guessing. Yep, okay. Well, that's still really cool. I like that as a building block. I'm just gonna, you know, do the thing I do. And it looks like for anything that is not a full block, when you break it, it turns into just stones. And aged polished granite as well. Yep, I'll take these two. Thank you very much. Sorry, Mr. Curvy Bone Joe. You can keep half of your grave. I had nothing to do with it, I swear. Wasn't me. So, I kind of robbed a grave, and I robbed the entire grave. I took everything, including the headstone. So, yeah, that happened. I feel a little dirty. Oh my. A second one? Oh ho ho. So I wonder if these are more common in general now, or if this is just super duper luck. Aged firewood. That's interesting. But I'm definitely not going to complain about the ruins being more common, because I felt like they were a little too uncommon before. They were kind of, you know, really few and far between. And what have we in here? Some seeds, some sticks, and some gears. I'll take the gears and the sticks, why not? I don't really need this uncolored vessel, so we'll leave it alone. It's really cool, though. I like that. A lot of cool, interesting little odds and ends, too. Like, not all of them mean anything. Potsherds and old fire pits and growly boys. Let's make our way out of here. Yeah, dude, get out of here. I think we're going down first and then up. Yeah. Down over here, and then we need a block of dirt about there. And bunny that fell. Whoopsie. Did not do that. And I want to see if we can find any surface ruins too, because we should be able to get the aged stone and aged ashlar blocks of basically all stone types as we come across the different kinds of ruins that can be found in each sort of stone biome. I don't want to call it a stone biome, but sort of the word that people have been using. Right now we're in a granite area where even the top layer of stone is granite, but if we were in, say, a shale area, then the ruins would likewise be made of shale. Ugh, forest. Not my favorite place. That is the other thing about goats and sheep. They will not spawn in places that are too high in forest. So if you are looking for goats or sheep, you want to look at high elevations that are moderate or less forest. I'm not sure what moderate means exactly. Like, is this moderate forest or is this deep forest? I don't know. Well, here we go. Here's a new ruin. Looks like it's a set of ruins, too. So I wonder, is this a reworked village, or is this just a reworked ruin? Oh, this looks nice. We have some granite cobblestone, a lot of it chiseled. We have a tool vessel. Oh, we have vessels galore. Wow, tool, and triple ore. A whole bunch of bony soil. And some free copper. Well, that's cool. And is that one over there too? It is. All right. Well, let's make a bed real quick, because we're going to need to sleep here real soon. Oh, look at that animation. Oh my goodness. We're actually cutting the grass rather than just sort of slapping it. I think the sounds need to be updated so that it's more like a slashing sound. But the animation's kind of nice. I do like that. All right, we have our home away from home bed. Let's ransack these ruins. Oh my goodness. This is going to take a while, isn't it? Well, you know what they say. Let's get to it. Ho 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 ho. What have we here? It looks like a little bit of a grave. We have a spiked mace. We have some piles of bones. Ooh, an altar. Oh, I got one of these with Purr on the Rusty Gears Season 2 server. That's fun. Sorry, guys. Well, I guess you just turn into bones, don't you? Nope, you turn into nothing. Well, that is cool. Let's see what kinds of ores are in here. Ooh, we have some gold. Okay. We have some flint tools. We have some galena. Some black coal. Wow, copper shovel. I will actually take that. That could be useful, and we can sort of use that up first while we're working on all this stuff here. Well, let's also go ahead and dig down here. So this looks like it's just some sort of wall, I guess. We do have something else here, though. What are you? Ooh, hello. Okay. I guess this is also the remains of like a little corner wall, perhaps. Then we have this guy, which is really near to the rift here, but that's fine. We'll just deal with triggers as they come. I do like the new shovel animation, too. We're actually digging, rather than, you know, slapping the dirt. Okay, so you're just, again, just a decoration. That is a really cool ruin, though. I like that. We got some stuff. It wasn't, like, overwhelmingly potent stuff, you know? It's just decorations, mostly. But that is really neat. I'm going to do a bit of inventory sorting here, and then I'll be back with all of you in the morning when we're going to go and tackle that ruin down that way. And I might take a break here to pick up this copper, just because I am going through copper pretty quickly. So, I'll see all of you in a little bit. Alright, folks. Oh, hey, check that out. I was going to go over that way, but I spy a trader over here. Let's go check them out first. Oh. This guy parked dangerously close to the pits of doom. Well, nothing much to see there, and it's medium, so I'm not going to go down just yet. But let's get these nosy things off our bar and go say hello. Hello, treasure hunter trader. Well, 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 what are you offering? A treasure map for 9 gears. I would normally take up on that, but I don't have any money on me, unfortunately. Right, I forgot I was going to prospect ever, wasn't I? I've been remiss in that duty, so... Poor Cinnabar. Okay. Oh, and it seems that we have now a second decimal in that readout. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, this is like a whole city or something. And we have Tool here. Oh, that's fun. Okay. So this is one of the new plants that's been planted that now grows around the water. You'll see these growing kind of in the same places where you'll find cattails, or Cooper's reeds, but they can be harvested just like Cooper's reeds with a knife. And it says, of course, harvest with a knife to keep the roots intact. We can also take the roots and replant these things. However, unlike the cattails, we can't eat them. Let's go ahead and drop these here. And this is thatch, just like the thatch roofing. And you'll notice that we can turn these into thatch roofing. But let's give this guy a dig, see what's around here, if anything. I'm going to call it nothing. Now, something I wonder here, wow, there's just buildings everywhere, is what do these look like on the map? So here we have one. If we zoom in, oh, they're like invisible now. Oh, man. That's rough. Wow. So we get this sort of green dot for flowers, I guess. And maybe if this was sort of like in a field, it might be a little more visible. So it looks like this guy here is probably this ruin. Let's watch ourselves on the map here. Whew. That is barely visible. Wow. There's this. And this is... Yep, so this is sort of visible. So the bigger ones look like they'll be visible on the map, but the smaller ones, not so much. You have a stairwell. You go anywhere? You do. You don't. Well, let's ransack this, and then I think we're going to call the episode there because we've been at it for a little while here. And I haven't seen any goats, although maybe we'll check out that mountain before we go. But let's see what we can rip apart here and, you know, just desecrate whatever people were buried here or whatever. Starting with you. Hello. Tool vessel with a axe. Wonderful. Victim number 2. Bony soil. Yes, please. what do we have down here? Just some bony soil over yonder. Let's go pick that up. And this is a new one. Interesting. Sort of like a double wall, or remainder of one. What are you? A food vessel. We'll leave you alone. Oh, cool. So you can dig the dirt away from these blocks that are kind of chiseled in with the dirt. That's pretty cool. And our third victim is waterlogged. But that isn't a problem for our intrepid adventurer, who will dig in from the side. Only to find nothing. Okay. So mostly decorative. That's pretty cool, though. I enjoy the grass floating on the water. There we go. Fixed that one. On to our next victim. And you have food. We'll leave you alone. I don't really need food. But let's see what wonders you hold inside. Suspicious. Oh, there we go. What is that? Flasks. And another aged torch holder. Don't mind if I do. Ooh, and an aged bed. I've been looking for one of those. A storage vessel with some gears for a treasure map that I could buy from that treasure hunter trader. Oh, fun stuff. Wow. This is amazing. This is really awesome. Lots of bony soil here. That's always a good sign. For me, not for whoever's buried here. And another small-ish thing over here. Are you anything? Ooh, we have something down here. Ah, this may have been like a wall. Some kind of rampart. A stair up to it. Let's take a peek at what's down here, though. Am I doing a terrible thing destroying, like, pieces of history? Why, yes. Yes, I am. Do I enjoy it, though? Why, yes. Yes, I do. I do think that given the scope of all of these ruins here, this is the kind of thing that would be really fun to actually try to reconstruct at some point. Maybe not in this playthrough. Maybe in, like, a later one where we come across one of these early on. And I do hope that these are fairly common, like these groups of ruins, because this is a really cool find, and restoring this and finding ways to repurpose all of these ruins for, you know, whatever we guessed they could have been used for previously would be a really cool idea. I think that could be a lot of fun. Farming. No, thank you. Got something here. What are you? A tool vessel, once again. We have a copper knife. I am less concerned with a knife than with a shovel. Shovel's more immediately useful. And so I guess we're on to the big ones here. So we have this guy. Now this looks like a sort of reconstruction of one of the original ones. Yeah, we had the sort of climb up, and then we have a food vessel up here. So this is very similar to ones from 1.18 that are a very similar shape. I like the update. I think it's a nice touch. I like that they're keeping some of the shapes, though. I like they didn't just throw away all their old designs. I do wonder if there's anything new to be found under here, though. Hello. How about down here? Anything on this side? Nope. Okay. So no basement in this one still. That's cool, though. Let's check out this bad boy. Oh, and there's a cave here, too. Neat. I like it, and I don't like it. Let's give this a look-see. Oh, man, that just goes and goes, doesn't it? Oh, there must be water down there. Well, I see something. I'm not sure what that is. That might be some kind of ore. I see a dead chicken. But, yeah, that's a real deep hole right there. Let's also not forget our prospecting mission. There we go. And we do have this last one to check out right up here. Let's not be remiss in checking that out. Food vessel, not interesting. I'm going to guess there's a vessel, yep, here. Tool. Looks like stone tools, so no thank you. But I will certainly take your bony soil. And looks like no other goodies under here. Again, this was another design that was already in the game. So it looks like they didn't patch this up too much, just sort of touched it up to make it look and fit in with the other ruins. There's one more ruin over there, and then I think we should head for the hills. Okay, so I recognize this design too. This was already in the game in a similar format, I believe. Let's take a dig around and see what's here. Oh, here we go, some bony soil. Hey, looks like some kind of panic room again. What have we got here? Seed vessel. Another aged torch holder. Don't mind if I do. And interesting. So ore and seed. What are you? Onions? Nah. Copper? I do have copper. Something over here, perhaps. Or is it just a way up? But that's really neat. I like this little touch. Bravo on the ruins. Inigo Studios. Is that what I think it is? Is that a goat or a sheep? But look at that step height. I just watched it crawl up the mountain. Look at you. Wow, look at you go. Holy moly. That appears to be a new kind of animal. Or maybe just a sheep baby, a lamb. Let's go see if we can follow it, get a closer look. And if we can't, well, we can probably find something up in those mountains over there, I'll bet. You might be a little lamb, I don't know. Let's see if we can get close. Oh, you're a lamb. No, don't scare. Oh, no. Oh, bye, lamb. Yeah, you're bighorn sheep. So here's an example of where you will find the bighorn sheep, at least. Oh, there's a bunch of them here, too. Look at that. Okay, well, that's cool, I guess. I was hoping to find some goats. But let's maybe take a look across the way and check out what else there is over here. Here we are in the foothills. We'll take a look around these sort of lower rolling hills first. Basically nothing here. Cool. Temporal storm. Wonderful. I always love those. Well, before the storm gets here, let's go get over to that mountain and take a look and see if we can spot any goats anywhere nearby before it gets too dark, if we can. Getting pretty cold up here. I haven't heard any animal sounds yet. Now it's very cold up here. We could run into polar bears up here, which would be very unfortunate for us. Do you guys hear that? It's a goat. Hi, little goat. Oh, no. They're running from us. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think I'm killing the goats with my very presence. Oh, no. I hear you. Are you still alive? Oh, no. No, my first goat. My first goat. And I killed it just by existing near it. Oh, let's make that 2 goats. So it looks like goats might be a bit of a challenge to rustle up. You have to get them down from mountains first. That'll be dicey. On the other hand, though, if you can get the goats down, they should be easier to corral toward your base because they'll run from you like chickens. And apparently I'll just... Oh, no. Stop it, guys. Stop it. You're killing me. Well, that's a shame on the goats. Hi, guys. Mountain goat kid. Yeah, so they're spawning as babies, which I don't really like. I wonder if the adults will still run from you or not. But we get a small rawhide and a meaty one. Interesting. And 1 raw red meat. But I think that's going to about conclude our exploration of this new area and this 1.19 content. We've made a pretty good dent in some of the new features. I'm going to try to make it home in time to catch this temporal storm in our storm shelter and try to get some double-headed drifters, but that remains to be seen. It might be a close race. Anyway, everyone, if you enjoyed the episode, let me know by leaving a like or a comment in the section below. And I would love to have you subscribe if that's your thing. As always, my name has been Kurazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.